Today, my friends, we open the doors to a world where tiny pieces of metal carry giant stories, a world filled with forgotten treasures, hidden errors, and coins worth far more than anyone ever imagined. Here on HD Rare Coins 111, we don't just show coins, we reveal the mysteries they've kept buried for decades. So get ready, because the coin you're about to discover might be sitting in someone's pocket right now, waiting for the right eyes to notice its true value. Stay with me, stay focused, and let's begin this incredible journey into the heart of American coin history, where every shine, every scratch, and every small detail has a story to tell and a treasure to reveal. Today, we step into a year that every American remembers, a year filled with celebration, pride, and reflection. The Lincoln 1-cent penny of 1976 was born during the bicentennial era, when the United States marked 200 years of independence. While special designs appeared on other coins, the humble penny continued its quiet journey, carrying history in a way few people ever stopped to notice. This is a coin that lived through fireworks, parades, and national pride, all while passing unnoticed from hand to hand. In 1976, the nation was looking backward and forward at the same time. The United States Mint was producing massive quantities of pennies to meet everyday demand, using methods refined by decades of experience. Abraham Lincoln's portrait remained unchanged, calm and steady, reminding Americans of unity and perseverance. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood firm, its fine details requiring precision and care during every strike. Because so many 1976 pennies were made, most people assume they are common and uninteresting. That assumption is exactly what makes this coin exciting for collectors. Hidden among the millions are rare varieties and mint errors that turn an ordinary penny into a fascinating piece of history. These special examples are not obvious at first glance, they reveal themselves only to those who know what to look for. One of the most important factors collectors study is strike quality. Some 1976 pennies were struck weakly, with soft details, while others were struck sharply, showing crisp lines in Lincoln's hair and clear columns on the memorial. Well-struck coins stand out immediately, especially when they have been preserved without wear. High-quality strikes from this year are far scarcer than most people realize. Errors are where the story becomes truly captivating. Some 1976 Lincoln pennies show double die characteristics, where letters or numbers appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. This is not damage from circulation but a genuine mint error created before the coin ever entered use. Clear doubling on the date or inscriptions dramatically increases collector interest. Off-center strikes are another thrilling discovery. These coins were struck when the planchet was not perfectly aligned, resulting in designs that appear shifted or incomplete. Off-center pennies with a visible date are especially desirable, because they clearly show both the error and the identity of the coin. Each off-center strike is unique, making collectors feel they are holding a one-of-a-kind moment frozen in copper. Die cracks and cuts add yet another layer of appeal. As dies were pushed to their limits during heavy production, cracks formed and transferred raised lines or shapes onto the coins. These marks are not flaws but evidence of stress and pressure inside the minting process. Some 1976 pennies display dramatic cracks that instantly draw the eye and spark conversation among collectors. Metal-related errors also appear on this coin. Lamination errors, where the metal peels or separates, occurred when the copper alloy did not bond properly. These coins often have a rough or layered appearance, but to collectors, this texture tells a story of imperfect materials meeting powerful machinery. Such errors transform an everyday penny into a piece of minting history. Condition ties everything together. Most 1976 pennies spent decades in circulation and now show heavy wear, dull color, and scratches. Coins that survived in exceptional condition, with original luster and sharp details, are surprisingly rare. When such condition is combined with a genuine mint error, collectors take serious notice, and competition can be intense. What makes this coin especially exciting is the possibility that it is still out there. Many rare pennies are discovered by ordinary people checking old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten rolls of coins. The 1976 Lincoln penny reminds us that history does not always rest in museums, sometimes it hides in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. This coin teaches patience and attention to detail. It shows that even during a year filled with national celebration, quiet stories were being written in copper. Every line, flaw, and shine reflects a moment in time when America celebrated its past while unknowingly creating future treasures for collectors. As we reach the end of this journey, remember that a high-grade 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a significant mint error has reached a real market and auction value of $9,000. If you have pennies of your own, comment below and tell us about them so the channel can help you learn more about your coins. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment to stay connected with more fascinating coin stories, and don't forget to like this video so more coin lovers can discover the hidden value inside everyday change. We slow everything down and focus on a single penny that quietly witnessed the end of one chapter in American coinage and the beginning of another. The Lincoln 1-cent penny of 1979 may seem simple, almost ordinary, yet this small copper coin carries a powerful story that many people never stop to hear. It is a coin that lived through uncertainty, change, and the final moments of an era that would soon disappear forever. The year 1979 was a turning point for the United States Mint. Rising metal prices were forcing serious decisions, and the days of the traditional copper penny were numbered. This penny was struck when copper still mattered, when the coin had weight, warmth, and a familiar sound that collectors instantly recognize today. Holding it feels different from modern cents, and that physical difference alone makes it special to coin lovers. On the front of the coin, Abraham Lincoln appears calm and steady, a symbol of strength during a time when the country was facing economic pressure. The details of his hair, coat, and expression tell a story of careful engraving, while the date 1979 anchors the coin firmly in history. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands with its tiny columns, a design that rewards anyone who takes the time to look closely. At first glance, the 1979 penny appears common because millions were produced. Most entered circulation immediately, passing through countless hands and slowly wearing down. This is why truly sharp and well-preserved examples are far rarer than people expect. Coins that escaped heavy use and retained their original surfaces are already special before we even talk about errors. The real excitement begins with mint varieties and mistakes. Some 1979 Lincoln pennies show double die characteristics, where letters or numbers appear clearly doubled. This is not damage from circulation, but a mistake made during the die creation process. True doubling shows separation and thickness that cannot be ignored once seen, and collectors search carefully for these details. Off-center strikes are another fascinating category. These pennies were struck when the blank planchet was not perfectly positioned, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Off-center coins with a visible date are especially attractive to collectors, because they clearly show both the error and the identity of the coin. Each one is different, making them feel personal and unique. Die cracks and cuts add even more character to this penny. As minting dies wore out under constant pressure, cracks formed and transferred raised lines or shapes onto the coins. Some cracks are thin and subtle, while others are bold and dramatic. These features capture the final moments of a working die and freeze them forever in copper. Metal-related errors also appear on some 1979 pennies. Lamination errors, where the metal peels or separates, occurred when impurities were present in the alloy. These coins may look rough or uneven, but to collectors, that texture tells a story of imperfect materials meeting powerful machinery. Such flaws transform a common penny into a piece of mint history. Condition plays a massive role in determining which coins become valuable. Most 1979 pennies today are dull and worn, but coins with sharp strikes, clean surfaces, and bright original color stand out immediately. When high condition is combined with a genuine mint error, collectors pay close attention, and competition can become intense. What keeps coin lovers listening carefully is the fact that these pennies are still out there. Many rare examples are discovered by everyday people searching through old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten rolls of cents. The possibility that a valuable coin could be hiding in plain sight makes this story exciting and personal for every viewer. The 1979 Lincoln penny teaches an important lesson. Value is not always about age alone, but about survival, uniqueness, and attention to detail. A tiny mistake made decades ago can transform an everyday coin into something remarkable, if you know how to look. As this journey comes to an end, remember that a high-grade 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a major mint error has reached a real market and auction value of $8,000. If you have pennies of your own, comment below and tell us what you found so we can help you learn more about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment to stay connected, and don't forget to like this video so more coin lovers can enjoy discovering the hidden stories inside everyday change. We take a quiet journey into a year that many people remember, yet few ever connect with coin history. The Lincoln 1-cent penny of 1981 may seem recent, almost too modern to matter, but this small coin carries a story filled with transition, hidden rarity, and minting surprises that collectors listen for very carefully. It is a penny born at the edge of change, when American coinage was about to feel different forever. By 1981, the United States Mint was under pressure. Rising metal costs were forcing new decisions, and the traditional feel of the penny was already starting to fade. Some pennies from this period still carried the familiar weight and color collectors loved, while others reflected newer production methods. This makes the 1981 penny especially interesting, because it belongs to a short and complicated chapter in modern coin history. The obverse shows Abraham Lincoln as generations have known him, calm, thoughtful, and steady. His portrait carries fine details that reveal a lot about strike quality. Sharp hairlines, clear lettering, and a strong profile instantly separate ordinary coins from exceptional ones. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial appears with delicate columns and architectural lines that demand a careful eye. Even the smallest weakness or flaw here can tell an important story. Most 1981 pennies lived hard lives. They moved quickly through circulation, picked up scratches, and lost their original shine. That is why truly well-preserved examples are far scarcer than people expect. A penny from this year with strong detail and original luster already stands out before any errors are even considered. Where this coin becomes truly exciting is in its varieties and mint errors. Some 1981 Lincoln pennies show double die characteristics. This happens when the die used to create the coin was misaligned during preparation, causing letters or numbers to appear doubled. True doubling is bold and intentional in appearance, not the result of damage, and collectors search closely for these details on the date and inscriptions. Off-center strikes add another layer of fascination. These pennies were struck when the blank was not properly positioned, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Off-center coins with a visible date are especially desirable, because they clearly display both the mistake and the identity of the coin. Each off-center strike is unique, capturing a single imperfect moment inside the mint. Die cracks and cuts are also found on some 1981 pennies. As dies wore down from heavy use, cracks formed and transferred raised lines or blobs of metal onto the coin's surface. These marks are not damage, but signs of stress and pressure during production. To collectors, they are frozen moments showing the final stages of a working die. Metal flaws tell another powerful story. Lamination errors, where layers of metal peel or separate, occurred when the bonding process failed. These coins often look rough or uneven, but that texture represents real mint history. Such errors remind collectors that even modern machines cannot guarantee perfection. Condition plays a huge role in determining value. Most 1981 pennies are dull and worn today, but coins that survived in high grade are surprisingly rare. Bright color, clean surfaces, and strong strikes elevate a coin dramatically. When exceptional condition is combined with a genuine mint error, collectors pay very close attention. What keeps coin lovers watching and listening is the idea that these coins are still out there. A forgotten jar, an old roll, or a family collection can still hold surprises. Many valuable discoveries begin with curiosity and a closer look at something ordinary. The 1981 Lincoln penny teaches an important lesson. Rarity is not always about age. Sometimes it is about survival, mistakes, and knowing what details matter. A single penny can carry history, craftsmanship, and value far beyond its face amount. As we come to the end of this story, remember that a high-grade 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a major mint error has reached a real market and auction value of $6,000. If you have coins of your own, comment below and share what you have so the channel can help you learn more about them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment to stay connected, and don't forget to like this video so more coin lovers can discover the hidden stories inside everyday change. We pause on a single penny that quietly changed American coin history forever. The Lincoln 1-cent penny of 1982 is not just another date in a long series. This is the year everything shifted, the moment when the familiar weight of copper began to disappear and a new era was born. Most people spent this coin without a second thought, but collectors know that 1982 pennies hold some of the most fascinating and valuable secrets in modern U.S. coinage. In 1982, the United States Mint faced a serious problem. Copper prices had risen so high that it cost more to make a penny than the penny itself was worth. The solution was dramatic and historic. During this single year, the mint produced pennies in two different metal compositions. Some were made mostly of copper, just like earlier cents, while others were made of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. This alone makes the 1982 penny unlike any other year, and it is where the story truly begins. When you hold a 1982 penny, you are holding a coin from a year of experimentation and urgency. The obverse shows Abraham Lincoln, steady and familiar, yet the metal beneath his portrait could be completely different from one coin to the next. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial still stands, but the weight, sound, and feel of the coin may change depending on which version you have. This hidden difference is what makes collectors listen very carefully. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1982 Lincoln penny is the number of varieties. There are multiple versions based on metal composition, date style, and minting details. Some pennies have large date numerals, while others have small date numerals. To the untrained eye, they look almost identical, but to collectors, these differences are everything. Identifying them requires patience, a sharp eye, and sometimes a scale to weigh the coin. Errors take this coin to another level entirely. One of the most famous and valuable mistakes is when a penny was struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. A 1982 penny that should have been zinc but was struck on a copper planchet instantly becomes a collector's dream. These wrong planchet errors happen during the chaotic transition and are among the most talked about modern penny discoveries. Doubling is another feature collectors search for. Some 1982 pennies show doubled lettering or numbers caused during the die creation process. This doubling is bold and intentional in appearance, not the result of damage or wear. When visible on the date or inscriptions, it adds serious interest and demand among specialists. Off-center strikes are also found on this coin. These occurred when the blank was not properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Off-center pennies with a visible date are especially desirable, because they clearly show both the identity of the coin and the dramatic nature of the error. Each one is unique, capturing a single imperfect moment inside the mint. Die cracks and cuds appear on some 1982 pennies as well. As dies wore down under intense pressure, cracks formed and transferred raised lines or blobs of metal onto the coin's surface. These marks are not damage but signs of stress and overuse, frozen forever in metal. To collectors, they represent the physical strain of a mint rushing to adapt. Condition plays a powerful role in value. Most 1982 pennies circulated heavily and now show wear, dull surfaces, and scratches. High-grade examples with sharp details and original luster are far scarcer than people expect. When such condition is combined with a rare variety or mint error, the result is a coin that collectors actively compete for. What makes this penny so exciting is the fact that it can still be found today. Many valuable 1982 pennies have been discovered by ordinary people checking old jars, coin rolls, and inherited collections. The idea that a historic and valuable coin could still be hiding in plain sight keeps collectors searching and learning. The 1982 Lincoln penny teaches one of the most important lessons in coin collecting. Rarity is not always about age. Sometimes it is about change, confusion, and tiny differences that most people never notice. A single year can produce more important varieties than decades combined, and 1982 proves that better than almost any other penny. As we come to the end of this story, remember that a rare 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the correct metal variety or a major mint error has reached a real market and auction value of $10,000. If you have pennies of your own, comment below and tell us what you found so the channel can provide information about your coins. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment to stay connected, And don't forget to like this video so more coin lovers can enjoy discovering the hidden stories inside everyday change. We take a calm and careful journey into a penny that many people still remember spending, yet very few have ever truly studied. The Lincoln 1-cent penny of 1986 belongs to a modern chapter of American coinage, a time when coins were changing quietly, and collectors were only beginning to realize that even newer pennies could hold surprising stories. This coin may seem familiar, but hidden within it are details, mistakes, and rare survivors that deserve your full attention. By 1986, the United States Mint had fully moved into the era of copper-plated zinc pennies. Gone was the solid copper weight of earlier decades, replaced by a lighter core and a thin copper coating. This change affected not only how the penny felt in the hand, but also how it behaved during the minting process. That difference alone opened the door to new types of errors and varieties that collectors would later chase with great interest. The obverse of the coin shows Abraham Lincoln as generations recognize him, steady and thoughtful. Yet on this penny, the strike quality can vary widely. Some coins show strong, sharp detail in Lincoln's hair and coat, while others appear flat or weak. These differences were caused by high production demands and worn dies, and they play a major role in separating ordinary examples from collector-quality pieces. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands with its fine architectural lines. This design is especially sensitive to strike quality. Weak strikes can cause the columns to blur together, while strong strikes reveal crisp separation and depth. Collectors often examine this side closely, because it quickly reveals whether a coin was well made or rushed through production. Most 1986 pennies entered circulation immediately and lived hard lives. They passed through vending machines, pockets, and cash drawers, picking up scratches and losing their original shine. Because of this, truly well-preserved examples are much scarcer than people expect. A penny from this year with clean surfaces and original luster already stands out before errors are even considered. Errors are where the 1986 penny becomes truly interesting. One of the most talked about mistakes from this year involves plating errors. Because these pennies were copper-plated zinc, some coins were struck with incomplete or missing copper plating. These errors can expose the gray zinc core beneath, creating a dramatic and unusual appearance that collectors instantly recognize. Doubling is another feature collectors search for closely. Some 1986 pennies show doubled letters or numbers caused during the die creation process. This doubling is not damage or wear, but a genuine mint error. True double die examples show clear separation and thickness that can be seen once you know what details to examine. Off-center strikes also appear on coins from this year. These occurred when the blank planchet was not properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Off-center pennies with a visible date are especially desirable, because they clearly show both the error and the identity of the coin. Each one is unique, capturing a single imperfect moment at the mint. Die cracks and cuts add even more character. As dies wore out under constant pressure, cracks formed and transferred raised lines or blobs of metal onto the coin's surface. These features are not damage but signs of stress inside the minting process. Some cracks are small and subtle, while others are bold enough to transform a simple penny into a standout collectible. Condition remains one of the most important factors in value. While most 1986 pennies are dull and worn today, coins that survived in high grade are surprisingly difficult to find. Bright color, clean fields, and strong strikes dramatically increase collector interest. When high condition is combined with a genuine mint error, demand rises quickly. What makes this coin so exciting is the fact that it is still out there. Many rare 1986 pennies have been discovered by ordinary people searching through old jars, rolls, and family collections. The idea that something valuable could still be hiding in everyday change keeps collectors watching closely and learning more with every coin they examine. The 1986 Lincoln penny teaches an important lesson for coin lovers. You do not need ancient coins to find history, rarity, or excitement. Sometimes value comes from understanding modern changes, minting technology, and the small mistakes that most people never notice. As we come to the end of this story, remember that a high-grade 1986 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a significant mint error has reached a real market and auction value of $4,000. If you have pennies of your own, Comment below and share what you found so the channel can provide information about your coins. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment to stay connected, and don't forget to like this video so more coin lovers can enjoy discovering the hidden stories inside everyday change.